guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video. I'm Azrael112, and today we're going to be looking at Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Now, I am very late to the party on this game. One of my viewers very kindly gifted me the Steam key with the Iceborne DLC, so that was very generous of them. We tried it on Steam today. I'm going to be as objective as I can with this video, but spoiler alert or disclaimer, whatever you want to call it, I personally did not enjoy this game. I did not enjoy this game for subjective reasons. It was my own personal preferences, if you like, my own personal things that I look for in a game. It just didn't tick the boxes for me. Having said that, the game itself is good, right? It is purely a me thing that I do not like the game. I've had a lot of people tell me that I need to get past the main story, get past the tutorials, get past this, get past that, in order for me to really have the game open up and me enjoy it. From my standpoint, I shouldn't have to play a game for between 4 and 8 hours in order to start enjoying it. I am 32 years old. I am at that point in my life now where if a game doesn't grab me almost instantaneously, chances are I'm not going to play it. So that is worth bearing in mind, guys. It is a slow burn. You need to have a bit of patience to play this. You need to have a bit of gumption. But that being said, I'm going to try and look at this as objectively as possible. Like I say, it is actually a good game, and I can see why people enjoy it. It's just not my sort of game. So let's jump into the options and see what sort of things that we've got in store for us. Okay, so options. This has been incredibly well optimized for PC gameplay. Obviously, it's been out for a while now. So you've got a lot of options to choose from. You've got everything from your text size to your display. Your display has a tremendous amount of options to it. So many so that even I don't know what half of the stuff is. I had to ask on stream today because I didn't know what the Fidelity FX CSS upscaling is. Apparently it's something to do with AMD cards and stuff, even though I've got a GTX card in my system right now. And downstairs I've actually got an RTX 2080. I am getting a new PC sometime this week or next week. So that will mean that I'll be able to stream in much higher quality, much easier. As you can see, we're using quite a bit of our VRAM usage right now. So I'm not sure what I'm going to have to turn down or how well it's going to record. But that's beside the point. Right now, you can do everything. Like, there is so much that you can choose from. Really, really happy with this. Like, it's got some stuff on high. So this is as standard. I'm not touching it. I'm not going to lower it. I'm just going to see how it goes and how it performs. It seems to be running fairly smooth. I've only got a 1063 gig in this, which is obviously a problem when I'm trying to record games that are a higher graphical nature, hence the new PC. But downstairs, I can say that it ran completely smooth with no issues, as you'd expect from a high-end card. But even then, I was using around 6.5 to 7 gig of my VRAM. Out of my 8 gig card, so it does use a fair bit depending on how much you turn up and do. Audio settings, your audio settings are pretty good. I would like just a main, like, maximum range, just a master volume range, which it doesn't have for some reason. It seems like some things have done really well and then other things have just kind of looked over. So you do have to sort the voice ranges and the background music and the sound effects and everything separately, which is kind of annoying. You go dynamic range, what you're using for your sound output, 3D audio, yes or no, voice chat and stuff. Language settings, again, fairly straightforward. You've got a large number of voices, languages to choose from, and whether you want subtitles on or not. Privacy, it asks you to confirm that when you first start the game anyway. Key configurations. Now, you have full key configurations if you use a keyboard and mouse. However, I was told today that the only way that you can change your keybinds for your controller, if you are a controller pleb like myself, is to do it in Steam and then apply it in-game, which is a ball ache. And from what I can make out, it's only certain layouts anyway, so it's not full customization like you get on some other games. It's 2020. I would really appreciate if you could just select the button that you want to do the things that you want to do on a controller. Like, I get it, PC, keyboard and mouse, full customization, that should be standard. But so many systems use both Xbox and PS4 controllers right now. And with the next gen coming out, I should hope that they can at least patch them in. Or if they make a new game, it comes as standard. Like, please. Think of us. Think of us controller plebs. There's a few keybinds on here that I wasn't really happy with. For controller, that made the gameplay seem a bit wonky and a bit static, if you like. I wasn't overly happy with it. And then you can set everything back to default if you so desire. So there's your options, guys. Fairly hefty. Overall, pretty good. Missing a few things that they could probably do just for quality of life. That said, let's jump into the game and see what the gameplay's like. Okay, so this is my character. Named him after myself, obviously. You get yourself a character and you get yourself a pet. Now, with Iceborne, it actually gives you some really OP gear from the get-go to allow you to kind of blast through the base content. It looks really cool, actually. It's a really nice armor set, and it obviously gives you your pet as well. I am using the Greatsword, or the Longsword, I should say. I am using the Defender set, which is part of this set that makes it quite powerful for you to use, but I'm actually using the Chainmail set, which is just the normal bog standard gear. I don't know whether I like that or not. Like, I like the fact it gives you an option of whether you want to use the OP stuff or not, as opposed to just saying, here you go. And I get why they would do that, so you can get to the new content quicker, because apparently that's where all the new, not only new, but all of the expansive content is. That's where all the high challenges are and stuff. But me being me, I'm going to go through the game just in normal gear, because so far, just with the sword, I've not really had much issue. I've upgraded the helmet a couple of times. I think that the upgrade system could do some work, but we'll talk about that in a bit later on. So, we're going to jump in. And here we are. We are in the game. As you can see, even on mid to high settings, it's pretty damn good. It looks really, really well. It's a very, very pretty game, this. The things that let it down, though, for me personally, we'll start with subjective stuff and get out of the way. It's a very slow-paced game. The tutorial takes a long time to go through, like 3.5 hours in. I'm still not really through it because, as others have said, the story mode is the tutorial. The other thing I've got a problem with is just the amount of dialogue there is that doesn't really tell you anything. It doesn't really set up the story very well. Like, Monster Hunter games are notorious for not having a story. And then you've got like this weird thing which a lot of JRPGs have, where some of it is voice acted and some of it isn't, and you are a mute character, so you kind of just sit there making grunts and stuff every now and again, and then sometimes they'll go to make a voice line and they'll stop halfway through a word. Really aggravating. Not the best to stream because I like to go through the story. Like, I am a story driven person. If there is a story to it, I want to experience that. I want to feel a connection with the characters, and because Monster Hunter does not have that, you really don't. The only connection you really have is with this person here, who is the handler, who is the most annoying, most useless, most stupid person or character in a game that I have ever had the displeasure of seeing. Outside of that, you don't really feel much for anybody at all. So that's a problem for me. Outside of that, though, the quests are fairly straightforward. It kind of doesn't hold your hand, which in some instances is good, in others not so much. So you've got different types of quests. You've also got expeditions that you can do. And you've got bounties as well. So you can post a new quest, you can join one, or you can sort your session settings out, etc. So people can join you for co-op. At this level, you really don't need to. So you go down, you've got your story quests here, you've got a star of how difficult it is. It tells you what you need to do. You go in and you do it. You've then got the preparing stage. And once you're in your preparing stage, you can see your armorer, you can upgrade your items, buy new items, and at this level of the game, really isn't that much you can make and or do. So you've got to go and see your armorer and see stuff and do all the things. And then when it's ready to depart, you just head off. This is the smithery. And this is always wise to check either just after you've completed the quest or just before you're about to start a new one. You simply go in and you've got all your options for upgrading your gear here. You can forge new. And you've got all your different types that you can forge. There is a good amount of weapons that you can all try. They start you off with like your basic iron sort of thing, and then you can upgrade and make new from here. But again, when you start, you literally get 3 that you can tie. You've got your iron katana, you've got your defender, and you've got your bone. The defender gear is the stuff that they give you that's pretty OP. It's kind of nice. It's got like explosion with it. It's got more power, just straight up more attack than either of the other two, even if you were to upgrade them. You've got your tree here, which shows you how they go down. And when you try and upgrade, it will tell you what items you need. If you don't know what items you need, you won't be able to upgrade the item until you've discovered those items, which is, you know, sort of annoying. So you've got this one here, which is under development, and it will say under development until you've actually made it and upgraded it. I think I've already made that one, so we're not going to make another one. We don't need to. You've then got your armor, which again, it tends to be the same sort of stuff. You've got these here that you can make stuff out of. But with the stuff I've got equipped, the chainmail, because I've been upgrading it, I need more bits to it. I need to find more Great Jargus for this. It's not actually as good as what I've got equipped, weirdly. So you've got to go through. You can see different bits and stuff that you can gain. You can see what it gives you, what it doesn't give you, what it's good against, what it's not good against, which will come later on after you've done the tutorial at a guess where you've got elemental types to take into consideration. However, for now, you really don't need to. The chainmail has done me well, and if you go into your equipment, you actually get access to the defender type stuff straight away, which is really, really strong. Anyway, so that's how you build them. You can then upgrade them in the option, and this again uses armor points, which you simply pour into it. It does explain this in detail, but it does it with more text than it does voice, which can make it seem a bit long-winded to work through. All the tutorials are different pages, and you've got to read them. They don't say them. It would be nice if they were voice acted, because it would make the process a lot quicker and probably a lot easier to understand as well. Like the amount of times that I personally will read something, completely forget it, go to do that thing that they've just told me about, and end up looking really confused for 10 minutes as I try and work out what the hell I've got to do. I'm sure there's not I'm sure there's other gamers that do the same thing as that, right? I'm not the only one, guys. Let me know in the comments down below if I'm the only one. Yeah? Thanks. Cool. And then you can do equipment for your little pet as well as your bowgun, and you can just change your equipment that you've already got here as well. It's quite in depth. I haven't really unlocked the majority of it yet because I've only got about 3.5 hours in the game. But I feel that the different weapons you could maybe create from the beasties that you've killed would look quite awesome and be quite powerful later on. Again, the defender gear, I'm not sure if it takes away or adds to it. It is quite powerful for what you're doing when you first start. But overall, it's not terrible. You've also got your provisions manager. Now, your provisions manager is where you get your bounties from and your investigations and your deliveries. Deliveries are dead simple. You go out, you harvest the things that they want you to harvest, and you give them back. And then you get points and armor upgrades and other goodies. Your bounties, you've got 3 different types. You've got registered, critical, and limited. Registered are just ones that you need to do. And then you can add to them once you've done them, change them up. Your critical are ones that you have a tire, like they automatically do, like they just add on. You've just got to get them done. And they tend to be story based from what I've gained. Like they tend to be, you do them, but they are tied to the story and the kind of the progression of the game. And then your limited ones are just bonus ones that you've only got a certain amount of time to get them done. And they give nice rewards as a result. So it's a nice little sort of way around. Outside of that, you've got your commander. And over at your commander station is where you will progress the main story again. So this will be where you get most of your cutscenes and where you get like your main story quests from. Once you've done that, you can then go around to the other areas I've previously showed you and expand on that and see what happens. It's kind of cool. It's very, very in-depth. I like the amount of depth and complexity to it. I do wish that there was a quick travel system between each point, though. As opposed to having to walk around and actually speak to people. A quick travel and just say, right, I want to go here. I want to go to this person here. Something very similar to Warframe, ironically enough. I can't believe I'm referencing Warframe for something that's good. But the quick travel system between each people in the open world areas is actually really good and really useful in Warframe. It would be nice to see it implemented here as well. That's really the main of your hub. Like, there's loads of other characters that you can talk to. Some that give you some useful information, some that give you more managers and more quests and things to do. Lots of side quests to explore. But they're really your main 3. Your armory, your provisions, and your commander are going to be the main 3 that you go to outside of going to the quest board to see what quest it is you've got to actually start from your really annoying handler. So, shall we see what the gameplay is like? Okay, so this is the gameplay. We've just unlocked Wiltshire. And basically, the way it works is that you get quests and you get expeditions. Quests are a little more to my style than the expeditions. They have key things that you have to actually do. They have a time limit to get them done. They have a death limit. They're more mission based. And right now we're just doing an escort mission as opposed to a hunting mission. Your exploration is a little more, you go out, you hunt what you want to hunt. You've got like a main objective, but you get it done as and when you feel like. Doesn't matter how many times you die. Like, you won't fail it unless you decide to fail it, sort of thing. There is some dialogue that will give you hints, and you've got these little fireflies that show you where it is that you actually need to go. They're a bit confusing though, because they tend to focus more on items that you see around you, right? So you'll see a firefly when you get near like a spider's web, or you know, anything that you can collect. Your fireflies will go nuts, which can be a bit confusing at times as to where you're actually supposed to go. They get a bit better at finding your main quest or your main hunt target when you find your target's footprints or some markings on the ground. The more you do, the more that your gnats will be able to find the target you're looking for. Your inventory space isn't that big. I don't know if you can increase it or whether you've just got to kind of like it, lump it, do some crafting on the fly to just make as many as possible to give your inventory enough room. The crafting's pretty quick. A lot of the time it'll do it on its own. But when you obviously craft some things, you give yourself some more space for some stuff. The fighting itself, like I said, I'm not really huge on the key combinations because they don't seem very fluid. So if you're using a controller, your Y key is to unsheath, your RB is to sheath, your X automatically sheaths because it is your potion or item usage to use X. Which you can just, like there, use your wasting to keep it sharpened. You do lose sharpening over time.
The Wildspire. That's where we'll find what we came for.
And then you've got your B and your Y to attack. So you Y to unsheath and then Y again to attack. You can use your right trigger to do a powerful attack, and your A is to dodge.
Downhill might be worse. This is so heavy.
So that being said, the actual combat is a bit of a nightmare for me personally. Like, it's not too bad that he's low levels, but I can see me having a lot of issues later on because they're just not used to what I use as a key combination when I'm fighting. I would rather it be that RB is use an item and X is to unsheath my item, with B me being dodge and Y being attack and A being like a lower attack sort of thing. So we're gonna see our big beastie, see what it is, see what we've got to go and try and like kill and or avoid. We've got a Rathian, which almost killed me last time, I might add. Now, one thing that you do get is you get a claw, which makes it very, very, very nice and very fun to attack. So we're going to try and take this on. I don't see it going very well. But you got to get out the way of it, distract it. I don't think we're meant to kill it yet, but fuck it, we're in. You know, I'm about to die. It's fine. And I died. So there you go. We got rolled in. We died. The combat itself isn't too bad. It shows you when you do good. You know, the crits and on the explosive damage and stuff is really, really, really nice. Overall, though, the game, like I said, is a bit too slow paced for me. It's too much. It's too much of a ball ache to go through everything to get to the point where the game just opens up and lets you go and kill stuff. The CGI and the cutscenes of when another monster comes in to attack the monster you're trying to slay, that's kind of cool. There are some very cool moments in it, and I can see if I was to put some time into this game and get past that slow burn, I would probably enjoy it quite a lot. But unfortunately, I don't have that time to sit into a game that I'm not enjoying. I don't have that time to go into a game that is going to take that long to get going. So for me, it's not really what I'm after. It's not quick enough, it's not fast enough paced, and the tutorial is more annoying than anything else. So that's really my view on it, guys. Like, it's beautiful, it's stunning, it's a very well made game. The controls being changed or being able to be changed would be nice, but it's not really a game I'm probably going to be putting too much time into. But let me know down below. Like, obviously the game's been out a while. Let me know if you're a hardcore Monster Hunter fan. Let me know if you like the game. Let me know if you don't like the game. Let me know what you don't like about the game if you don't like it. And let me know what you do like about the game if you do. Let me know in those comments down below, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.